Teens' mental health, the focus of new CDC data out this afternoon, and it echoes a cry for help. Particularly troubling, the number of teens who say they have experienced some form of domestic abuse during the pandemic. CNBC senior health and science reporter Meg Terrell joins me now. Meg, what did the study find on domestic abuse in particular?
Yeah, these were really concerning findings from this study, which the CDC ran over the first half of last year of about 7,000 sort of nationally representative kids in public and private high schools. And what they found is that more than half of these kids reported experiencing some kind of emotional abuse by a parent or other adult in their home over the previous year. So that could be being sworn at or insulted at home or being put down in some way. Also really concerning is that 11% reported experiencing physical abuse from a parent or adult in their home. 29% of the students in the survey said that an adult in their home had lost their job. There was also a lot of concerning findings about experiences of racism in the study that these students experienced, particularly high among students identifying as Asian. 64% of Asian students saying that they experienced racism. 55% of students who are Black or multi-race saying they'd experienced this. And the experts saying this can really translate into depressed, mental health status and academic performance.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful to hear those numbers. The CDC says, sadly, what we all know, right? High school students' mental health was getting worse before the pandemic even started. What are they seeing now, 2 years later?
Yeah, so we have seen the numbers growing ever higher in terms of kids reporting their, poor mental health status. But the numbers are even higher now in this study. What they found is that 37% experienced poor mental health during the pandemic. 44% said they felt persistently sad or hopeless. So these numbers, while they had already been getting bad, they are a lot higher in the pandemic survey than we'd been seeing before.
So many kids were taking remote classes. They were missing out on school activities during the peak of COVID. What does the CDC say about the importance of school connectedness, if you will?
Yeah, that was one of the things they saw actually makes a real difference. This feeling like you belong, like there are people who are supportive of you in a school environment. They saw that kids reporting feeling sad or hopeless. Those who didn't feel connected at school reported 53% of them said they felt sad or hopeless, compared with 35% who said they did feel connected. We saw this impact on those who considered suicide as well. 26% who did not feel connected said that they had considered committing suicide. 14% who did feel connected. And so the point that the CDC makes here is that schools are incredibly important. But of course, schools had a really tough time staying open during the pandemic.
What does the CDC say about how we can help kids recover? Because I think people are becoming increasingly aware of just how much kids are suffering, and they really want to help.
Yeah, I think some of the biggest takeaways are this feeling of connectedness. So the importance of the school, making sure that schools are safe and inclusive, but also acknowledging that schools can't do this alone. So being able to make communities more inclusive and having mentorship opportunities from adults in the community, those are the kinds of things that we're seeing the experts here really emphasize that can try to start to help.
Really sad and startling findings, but thanks so much for sharing them with us. So hopefully we could try to work on that, try to help those teens get to a better place. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.